You see, I came dressed for the part 2, bro. I'm wearing a Batman hoodie and everything.
Yeah.
I got all my drawing. So.
Yeah.
Are we
I
live?
mean, we're live. We're live.
Okay,
We're live.
okay.
I'm gonna need a pillow though because
Yeah,
my
get comfy.
bike, man. But yeah, man. How are you?
I'm good, dude. I can't
Yeah?
believe we are halfway. What is it? June 12th. So about halfway
Yeah.
through summer.
Yeah.
I've got one more semester of university, and then I get.
Oh, you're doing summer school?
No, but I'm double majoring.
Mm-hmm.
So for my journalism degree, I've done all my courses, I think. But you need to do an internship.
Yeah.
I didn't get one last year, so I still got to do one.
Mm-hmm.
And then a few more credits for my English major, and then we're done university. That's such a major chapter.
It is. No, it definitely is. I know for some people, sure they won't see it that way, but on a personal level, you do feel like you accomplished something, you know?
Yeah.
It's a good thing.
Scary.
It's a good thing. But Matt, what are you gonna do after journalism wise, you know? Because
I don't know, it's hard to time travel
yeah,
and say in X amount of days I'll be here. But
yeah.
for now, I'm gonna volunteer with the school's radio station, CKCU-FM.
Mm-hmm.
I cover, like I told you earlier, Ottawa Atletico.
Yeah.
For Capital Current.
Mm-hmm.
I love broadcast journalism.
Yeah.
I do. So depending on where the radio volunteer work goes, maybe I can find some time to be on air. That would be super cool. I love doing political commentary. Unfortunately, that's its own swamp to
exactly.
navigate.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I can't quantify where I'll be, and it's hard to even qualify it. I just hope whatever it is I'm doing, that it's something that's giving me meaning. You know?
Of course, like always, man.
Yeah.
It's good. We spoke about it before, right? But same thing. For me, man. I eventually, right now, sure, I'm in my early stages. I'm in my early 20s, right? We're both are, and I wouldn't mind doing any job that's a living right now, sure, but just as long as I'm writing and I'm doing something, you know. Just as long as I always see writing as the end goal. Sure, you might not see something as okay, this is what I'm gonna do in the end. You know, you may open yourself to more things, but in my mind, to me, honestly, I could be working in the kitchen of a restaurant, right, a dishwasher, whatever like that, right. No matter what, just as long as I know what's my end goal, and
right.
You know what's surprising me? A lot of people don't have that. A lot of people don't have.
It's hard, though. If you told
someone...
No,
but also, having a passion for something.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Some people are, so, I really don't know what I love.
I don't blame them, though.
Yeah.
We're in our 20s, and these are, insanely formative years,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
These are... it's a milestone every year, basically. Whether you're
that's
leaving university,
that's true, yeah.
You're getting your first car, you're moving out... You're falling in love with a significant other.
Yeah.
So to say, what do you want to do with the rest of your life? It's I'm still figuring out what life looks like right now. So I don't know. I think everyone is trying their best with what they've got, but sometimes they just don't know what they got, or they don't know what they really like.
I mean, you have a good view on it. I have a positive view on it.
Yeah.
The way I see it, though, it's with social media, and seeing other young people be successful.
Don't compare.
I know. It's really bad. Because we see it on social media so many times, every swipe is seeing Timothy Chalamet, you know,
I find LinkedIn
just
worse.
Young, actually?
LinkedIn, yeah.
Seeing school
just because
school friends,
all social media is for people to present themselves
in
the most productive manner they want. But I think for LinkedIn specifically, it's not just with their peers, but it's more so trying to show others that they have they're trying to climb a social ladder for other people in higher positions of power, which you don't normally you wouldn't post on Instagram hoping someone's going to see your post and necessarily reach out to you for a career opportunity. But with LinkedIn, I find it's different.
But also on Instagram, at least when we were younger, we post so that we kind of hope that some certain amount of people
you want validation.
Exactly, it was validation. And I think that's the whole point with social media, you know.
Exactly.
As much as we deny it, bro, even on YouTube here, I'm
Yeah, it's nice.
I see 25 subscribers. I'm like, holy fuck, 25 subscribers.
Yeah, and you can quantify your validation.
Yeah,
too. You can say once I get to 30,
yeah.
oh my god, I'll feel even better.
Exactly.
35,
yeah.
40, 45.
It's scary though, isn't that scary?
You'll never be full.
Is it? Do you think it's like because we've had it for so long? Do you think it's like, oh, it's too late to like stop it? So it's like it's a bad thing, but at the same time it's not, because we're kind of self-aware that it is for validation?
No, I find like that's the same argument for like automation and AI. So people always go to the extreme that like AI will replace everyone and everyone's job, and humanity has basically written itself out of a need to exist. But there is an alternative where like automation can be super productive for humanity. So for example, let's say you own a factory and I don't know, you have 30 employees.
Yeah.
You introduce automation, you get a big machine that like does the same work as all the factory workers, but this time, instead of using that machine and saying, I'm going to get rid of half my workers and keep productivity the same, you could still employ your workers, but maybe they just work less now. And productivity either stays the same or could increase.
Okay.
So like there's always this balance where you could take something like social media and still use it to your advantage, because like we both use social media. And we must both recognize then that there are some values to it, like staying in contact with friends who are far away. So I think if you can exercise some kind of moderation or be self-aware of what social media can do to your mentality, if you're someone who often goes out seeking validation externally and you know that could be like a harmful behavior, if you can just acknowledge that and come up with solutions to avoid that, then there's no reason why you can't use social media and still have a productive life.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. But okay, let's get back to Batman, man. Let's talk.
That's a bit of a segue, but sure, man.
Let's talk about, the one thing we're supposed to meet for. And you know what? This is I think the second most like recent movie, I guess, that came out. Like out of all the movies I've talked about on this, I think this is the most like recent one, because I did
the
Dune.
Batman's not even recent though, is it? It's like a year old now, right?
It's a year old, but I did Dune. When did Dune come out? Like November?
Before Batman.
Batman, before Batman, because Batman was
March.
Yeah, it was March, and like Dune was like the summer before, right?
When it came out, so yeah, it was definitely a while ago.
But yeah, this is honestly, I normally like I said, I told you this before. I normally watch the movie. Well, I didn't tell you this. I watch a movie the day before I do a podcast, right?
So it's fresh.
Exactly, yeah. But this movie is like, I remember when it came out, and the first time I saw it in IMAX, right? So imagine the sound, right?
I saw it that too.
How it looks, bro. I'm telling you, the moment I saw the Batmobile, like for the first time.
Oh, so it's that chase scene with the penguin?
Yeah, that very moment when you hear the and then your whole seat vibrates. The moment I saw that, I was like, yeah, no, without a doubt, whatever happens next in this movie, this is like top 10 movies.
Yeah.
This is top 10 movies for me, at least.
The score will do that to you, because it's really
for
the music that carries that
exactly,
taste. You got like the drums.
We always forget it, but like, we listen to music every day, and then all of a sudden we hear a soundtrack plus a beautiful looking movie.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with emotions, right? Like words can never really articulate what someone feels.
Yeah.
But like a sound can. Music can. Visuals can. Color can.
Yeah. But I mean, where did you see this movie for the first time?
I saw it. I think I saw it opening day. I saw it with my girlfriend at the time. I saw it. Oh, jeez, it wasn't Lansdowne. It's the one near Golftown.
Oh.
Landmark. Canada?
In Canada?
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, Landmark. Yeah.
I saw it there in IMAX.
Yeah, because there's only 2 IMAXs in Ottawa. Huh?
Yeah.
Can you believe that, bro? That pisses me off. You either have to drive all the way to Gloucester or Canada.
Streaming services. Theaters are like.
No, but the fact there's 2 IMAX theaters, right?
Just IMAX.
Yeah, just IMAX in general.
Okay.
Right? Because I mean, not gonna lie, the one we have here is kind of bunk, right?
Yeah, it's old.
And people like don't like the seats. Like I was talking to Carmelo, and he was like, he was like, he prefers
that if you go to Lansdowne, you'll be like, oh my god.
Exactly. Like, yeah. But the IMAX in general, because I want. If I anticipate a movie, I'm watching it on IMAX.
I'm really interested in, like the Batman.
Yeah.
I want the full experience. I don't like 3D.
Yeah. So yeah. Spider-Man got ruined to me because of that.
Okay, that's fair. But anyways, I saw the Batman.
Oh, by the way, you sent me the tickets. You sent me the tickets for Spider-Man. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you had extra ones. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I'm down. What the hell? Yeah. And I went with my buddy, and it was. I don't know. 3D itself.
We could talk about that. I have takes on Spider-Man. Yeah. But just to finish my point on the Batman, I know it was a great movie, but I really know it was a great movie because I downed like a huge Diet Coke during that movie.
Yeah.
And it's 3 hours. So I'm sitting there and I'm literally like, like steam's coming out of my ears. I'm cross-legged. I'm literally flexing every muscle in my body, and I'm not blinking. I'm just staring at this movie. I'm telling myself like, you do not get up right now. You sit through this and you just digest it.
Yeah, no, fair.
And like I just didn't flinch. And
Did you have a moment that really cemented this is the movie, like
oh god, that narrating scene?
Thursday, October 31st.
Oh, in the beginning?
Where Rob's like, Thursday, October 31st.
Oh, that's not bad, Yeah, that's not a bad shout. Yeah.
I literally like, oh my God, it's Batman. And you never hear that in any, Batman's really interesting to me because kind of like Shakespeare plays, they're always being reinterpreted. They're always up for interpretation. And with superheroes and comics especially, they're really just social commentaries on ongoing issues. So in that way,
most of the time, sometimes
for Batman, in particular, so you can you can always reinvent that character and mold him to what you think the response is going to be to ongoing social issues. So for example, in the Batman, a huge one is class inequality. Yeah, like poverty is extreme. Like a disproportionate amount of people in Gotham City hold the wealth, and I guess I would assume that Matt Reeves took that idea of a hyper-capitalist world and thought, well, what would the public's reaction to that be? What would that outrage look like? Because ultimately, that's what Batman is supposed to represent. He's for the people. Yeah. He represents the people's frustration. And that's who that character becomes at the end of the movie. He starts out being very hyper-individualistic, caring about his own motives for fighting crime. It's only when he comes to the end that he's like, I have to be more. I have to be a symbol for these people.
Do you think he becomes that, or he's gonna become?
He's
that?
On his way. He's not there yet. Of course, he's not there yet. But that's why that character can exist forever because social issues aren't going away anytime soon.
That's true.
And even if they were, hypothetically, that's not to say that you couldn't go back to those issues and reimagine how your idea of Batman would respond to them. So he's like coffee. Everybody loves coffee, but some people like it this way, some people like it that way. So he's immortal, really.
That's true. I never looked at it as every Batman movie kind of touches that point, but in an exaggerated way because it's comical. It's like
the Nolan Batman movies, for example. I think Dark Knight came out
2012.
Was it? No, I think it was 2008.
2008. Dark Knight Rises was 2012.
Yeah. So, Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, and Dark Knight Rises was just after the housing crash, the market crash in 2008.
Yeah.
So you could probably analyze how that impacted Nolan's idea of what Gotham City would look like with everyone being I wish I could remember that movie more, but I remember people getting forced out of their homes, Bane taking over.
Yeah. Right? So Bane was a representation of sorts.
Yeah. Or Occupy Wall Street.
Yeah.
So you could always come back to those movies and analyze how real world issues imitate themselves into the movies.
Well, speaking of watching it in theaters, right? I do fun facts. You know, I tell everybody this. I do fun facts, but I do these facts, right? I just like pull up facts.
Okay.
But one that I found, it's like when the credits were rolling or at the end
For the Batman.
Yeah, there was like a link, right? Remember?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
And apparently, it was used by Warner Bros. For like promotion and all that. And
it was.
apparently, like right now, it's just that it's been seized by Gotham PD, right?
Yeah, I think originally that
Yeah.
link had like Riddler's files or something.
Yeah.
And you could watch a deleted scene with Batman and the Joker talking.
Did you go on? Did you go on it? Did you?
Yeah, I did.
But did you? I also want to ask. Did you stay? Did you stay like?
Absolutely.
You stayed after the credits and
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Yeah.
I don't even like those, to be honest
Yeah.
with you, because it's like just end it. Like I want
Just
I
make
want
a movie.
Closure.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
want closure.
Yeah, if you're gonna continue it later.
Right.
Sure, do your own thing.
But
the
especially
fact
with the
that, like,
credits, because the
yeah.
credits feel like, okay, it's done. Now we're
Exactly, yeah.
celebrating the people who made this happen.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
then to come back to the movie, it feels like, like
It is low key like what like we said, like with social media, right? In a way, you'd be watching a Marvel movie, you get this big spectacle, right? And then all of a sudden it's done, and you should be like, okay, understanding what you just saw, taking a minute, right, and all that, taking a couple days, taking a couple weeks,
Yeah.
right? But no, you're like, the movie's done. Okay, 10 minutes. I can wait 10 minutes for the next
Yeah.
movie.
Oh,
movie.
that's interesting. I was
You know?
thinking it from the opposite end,
Yeah.
where like the people making the movies need that validation again from their audiences. So they'll
Probably
say, hey,
do.
wait,
There is
stay,
probably greed.
stay.
Yeah,
We'll-
yeah.
We'll give you more. Just keep watching us.
No, that too. That also stands in
interesting.
my opinion. But you know what? When I saw the Batman, I had such a what's it called? Maybe because it came after COVID, but I used to be such a big Marvel like guy, right?
Mhm.
Or at least until Avengers Endgame,
Right.
and then after that, I was just like a casual, like
Me
I'll
too,
pull in,
yeah.
right? But I remember watching the Batman, and then once the movie was done, I was just like, you know, let me just leave. Let me just trust that this movie doesn't have anything, you know?
Oh.
You know, I was like, just please, you know? And then I went a couple days, like, I kind of forgot about it. Like, oh, do I look up if it has an end credit scene, right? I forgot about it. And then the deleted scene with the Joker came out, and I was like, no way that was their end credit scene. But then I looked it up, oh, it's just a deleted scene.
Yeah.
And I was so glad that was the case, you know?
Yeah.
I was so happy because we know
There is an end credit scene though, in that movie.
there is an end credit scene, but it's not an end credit scene, you know? It's just...
It kind of teases.
But
I
it
mean-
still happens in the same movie. Like, sure,
Oh,
I
I
think they let that one, like... I don't think Matt Reeves ever wanted that, you know? Or probably didn't want that at that specific time. It was probably like the... Warner Bros. Who was like...
Studio who
bro,
wants to keep
yeah,
pushing
like, come on,
this,
come on.
marketing.
Exactly,
It really
yeah.
is just marketing those end
It
credit
always
scenes, I
is.
find.
And it's sad because we're watching a piece of art, like, right now. Like,
Right.
why am I suddenly being promoted for something else? It just kind of ruins it, you know?
Right. Yeah. You're treated more
Yeah.
so as like a consumer.
I think The Dark Knight is a good example of, like, okay, teasing for the next one in a proper way. Because in Batman Begins, all they did, show a Joker card.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. You know? That's a smart way.
I think in that sense too, it
Yeah.
it still closes the narrative, because if Dark Knight never came out,
yeah.
you could still have the story that goes on.
Oh, yeah. Batman
you still understand
continues,
like,
yeah.
okay, Batman just now he's Batman and he's just
Yeah,
continuing
exactly.
to fight crime. But like,
Yeah.
we just know that now. Like that question is answered to us.
Yeah.
But when you're talking about the end credit scenes that are like teasing, like that take place in another movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I'm trying to think of like specific examples, but
like it happens inside of a movie.
oh, I'm thinking
a lot, bro. A lot.
Incredible Hulk.
Like,
I always remember that one because that's like the first big one I've seen. But like
with Iron
Tony
Man?
Stark,
Yeah,
and it's like
yeah.
that has nothing to do with Hulk. You are teasing a
Yeah,
whole
that's right.
an entirely different movie. So yeah, it gets stale for sure.
But at the same time, the way I see it with that, because Marvel started this, you know, it's kind of like a let it slide, you know?
Yeah, but like
Because they had
you
their
have to
own thing
hold
going.
like you have to hold Marvel accountable.
Yeah. No, for sure. I agree. But at the same time, it's like, if pre-Endgame, okay?
Okay.
Pre-Endgame.
So that was, for me, that's when Marvel's at its peak. Because after Endgame, I fell off.
Sure, they promoted the hell of everything that would happen after Endgame. Of course, they told us about Eternals before Endgame showed up,
Yeah,
right?
because they needed to make...
They
Because
needed
they knew, like, fan base would drop off.
Yeah, but at the same time, at the back of your mind, you were like, you know Endgame is the final one. You knew that, right?
It's not, though. Isn't there going to be another Avengers?
Of course. There's going to be other ones, right? But before Endgame came out, you knew, like...
It felt like closure.
It felt like... Not watching the movie, but I mean, like, before it came out, you were like, okay, I'm going to watch Endgame, and I know this is how it's going to end.
Yeah.
You know, this is how it's going to end.
Yeah, that's why I wish they wouldn't make more.
Even if they put out more, right? So the fact that they didn't put an end credit scene in Endgame, right? And the fact they had an end credit scene for all these movies before, which kind of fits their own project. I feel like all those movies before Endgame, they fit in one single thing, and it works.
It paid off.
Yeah. But when you have a moment like that, and then you decide to continue it and continue it,
yeah, I was
it's
just
like,
gonna ask you.
What's going on? We're just going to create disasters and world-ending disasters, right? Because all these other movies, like Captain America, they were pretty, like,
the
tight,
stakes
you know?
are high when the stakes are low, I find.
Exactly, yeah.
One of my favorite movies that takes inspiration from the Batman is Seven. I don't know if you've seen Seven.
Yeah.
The stakes are high when the stakes are low. The world's not at risk. You've caught the bad guy.
Yeah.
All you're wondering is what's in the box.
Honestly, yeah.
And you're like I've seen that movie, 3-4 times?
Yeah.
I'm always on the edge of my seat.
But, the first time you saw it, though, you kind of knew. You kind of knew, right?
I knew from the thing about that movie is, like, they don't hide anything.
Yeah.
Like, you might not know exactly what's in the box, but Morgan Freeman's character says, like, John Doe has the upper hand, and, like, that gives me chills still, because it's like, oh my god, like, it's and like I say this again, like, the stakes are high when the stakes are low. When you have, like, this giant nuclear threat, you kind of almost say, like, they win, because you can't just blow up your entire story world.
That's true. And
so, but when it's when it's one person.
In a character that you
can afford to lose one person. You can't afford to lose your whole main roster.
Yeah.
Even from a business perspective, that's a horrible decision.
That's true. But it's also like we grow up with this character, right?
Personal.
It's also personal, right? Because if I'm watching Iron Man and all of these, and then in Iron Man 3, like, his life is at risk, like, sure, like, you sold me already. You know, you don't have to, like, do the world is gonna end type vibe, you know? Like, if you put him in danger, I'm gonna worry, because, you know, you already sold me on the character before.
It's hard to do that. Like, I find, like, I get really invested
Mm-hmm.
in any piece of media, TV or movie, as soon as I'm convinced that I don't know what's gonna happen to these characters. So something that's always stopped me from, like, really being invested in a Batman movie, for example, is knowing that Batman's not at risk.
Okay, wait. So you are invested if he is?
I get invested, but like, I feel like I'm held back to a certain extent, because I'm never that worried about Batman.
Ooh.
I'm never like,
they're
not gonna kill Batman in the Batman. They gotta make at least 2 more. Like, he might not save the day, but he's fine, and he's always gonna have another opportunity to try again. And
that's why I can't wait for, like, Jason Todd.
Like, Jason Todd will.
Bro, how come all these Batman movies?
I feel like Jason Todd would fit really well with Robert Pattinson's Batman, but I know that would.
He is quite young, though. That's the thing. Like,
well, they're all because
all the other ones, like, they look like, you know, they could be parents.
Yeah,
you know?
But you could have an 18-year-old Jason Todd who, you know, if you're thinking like, well, Gotham's been flooded in the Batman. I'm more than willing to bet that has impacted lower income.
Oh no, it kind of
Okay. Well, what I was saying was, like, I think coming out of the Batman, I really felt like Jason Todd was the right choice for a Robin, because if we're thinking about the story world, Gotham City's been flooded. I'm willing to bet that has impacted, if we're being pragmatic here, that's probably impacted the lower income neighborhoods of Gotham City the most, which is where Jason Todd would resign. Jason Todd would also be like, he's always been portrayed as like this, like, edgy, angry character with, like, angst, that teen angst, which would be pretty easy to explain if, like, he lost his family or his house to a flooding or someone really close to him. With Dick Grayson, I find it's almost hard to incorporate him in this movie right now because, he's iconic for being part of the circus.
Mm-hmm.
The flying graces.
Yeah.
And it's like, how are you gonna incorporate circus acts right now when you've created a Gotham City that's quite literally underwater and winter is coming? So if you...
But he lost his parents like at a younger age, right?
Who did? Dick Grayson?
Dick Grayson. Yeah, Dick Grayson, yeah.
Jason Todd actually, his parents didn't die.
Who was it before? It was Dick Grayson and
Dick
then
Grayson's
Jason?
the first Robin.
And then
Jason Todd actually, his parents abandoned him, but I think if I'm remembering correctly, the original storyline is that Jason Todd, his mom is still alive, and he hears about her, and he reaches out to her, and he goes to meet her, but it was actually some kind of scheme from the Joker, and the Joker used his mom as bait, kidnapped Jason Todd, and tortured him somewhere, I think in like the Middle East, and then blew him up.
Okay,
and that's like very vague, and I've probably got the details wrong.
Yeah, but that's no. I know what you're talking about.
But his mom is
alive. That's when he's Robin.
Yes,
that's when he's Robin. But I wonder like what happened before because I never knew what happened before.
I mean, you don't even.
That's
really,
Jason
like,
Todd. That's Jason Todd, right?
My idea of a Jason Todd would definitely be someone like Bruce, who's like, kind of like alone and lonely, and definitely angry at this city, much like Bruce is at the start of the Batman. But I feel like Dick Grayson is so integral to Robin, and you almost wouldn't like with these Batman movies. Like you're only going to be able to do one Robin. You'd have to do like 10 Batman movies to get all like the big 3 Robins done at once.
That's
also,
true. And
they're
I don't
making
think
another Batman movie that has another Robin in it, Damian Wayne, the Brave and the Bold, I think it's called. Sorry. So you gotta pick one Robin. You're gonna get what? He wants to do a trilogy, so you got 2 movies. You're only really gonna be able to fit one Robin. The second movie, if you introduce Robin, is gonna be building him up. He's only really gonna become Robin by the end of the movie, much like how Batman becomes Batman by the end of the first movie.
I think it's gonna be like Titans though. Like if you do introduce one Robin, it's gonna be Nightwing, right?
Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And oh no, I disagree. Jason Todd has a cooler story,
right?
bro.
He does. I think so too. But I'm saying like you would really only understand the impact Jason Todd has on Bruce Wayne as a character if you recognize, what Dick Grayson bring to the mantle of Robin and how he influenced Batman's character as well. Because Dick Grayson is someone who taught Batman to open his heart and love someone again.
Yeah.
So,
which is wild. Yeah, because you think like
for him to finally lose that with another Robin is so devastating.
Yeah. It's all too tricky. You
don't have enough time.
You either choose one. You either choose one, or you don't choose any of them.
And I'd love to see a Robin. And like there have been good Batman and Robin stories. So
yeah, but the Jason Todd one is so good. Like the first time I ever heard that story,
you can only do Jason Todd if you introduce Batman as someone who's more established and has already had like a Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
You
That's
can't
the thing.
do
You need a Dick Grayson before.
Yeah,
you need Dick Grayson before. You know, which is so annoying because Dick Grayson just becomes Nightwing. You know, and with Jason Todd, I remember the first time I heard about Jason Todd, or at least saw a story with him in it, was the Arkham games.
Arkham Knight.
Yeah. And I remember playing that game the first time, and I was like, no fucking way.
You're lucky because everyone who's ever been like, who knew Jason Todd,
they kind of knew what was coming.
They all knew it was coming, even though Rocksteady said it wasn't him.
Bro.
And they were mad about that.
Yeah, I was just like.
I was a bit disappointed too.
I was so like. I was so hooked on that story, right?
Yeah.
And I remember, like, if video game-wise, right? Any game that's not FIFA, right? My hands are sweaty, you know? I'm, like, nervous as fuck, right? In Arkham, there was, like, moments where, like, the bad-looking creature.
Oh, Man-Bat scares you? Yeah, that's iconic.
Bro, I saw him
screamed.
drop my controller,
I screamed. Yeah, bro, that's iconic.
Joker 2, his first time, too. Like, all these little things, like, scared me.
That makes me miss Kevin Conroy.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, he's gone.
Oh,
he's the voice.
He was the voice, yeah.
He's not only the voice of the character in those games, but he did Batman the Animated Series. He did Batman Beyond.
I saw the Long Halloween too, yeah.
He didn't do Long Halloween.
Yeah, that wasn't him?
No.
No, that was No, that was Jensen Ackles. Yeah.
He's really good too.
Yeah, I'm tripping. What am I thinking of?
But Kevin Conroy's legendary for Batman.
He did something else.
Well, he's done Batman Beyond. He did
in the new
Justice
Suicide
League.
Squad game, right?
Yeah, that's gonna be his last.
Yeah.
I don't want AI Kevin Conroy to do Batman.
Yeah.
That I feel like that's a disservice.
Well, you put it out in the world, man. Someone's gonna do it.
Someone already.
Someone
has.
is so greedy that they're gonna
Someone
do
already
it.
has.
You know.
I think they did that with James Earl Jones. Like, he's not dead, but I think he's done playing Darth Vader. But like, he signed a contract where they have enough words in his cadence to make their own Darth Vader voice from him now.
Yeah.
Which is like, I don't know if I like that. It feels so like inauthentic sometimes. But yeah, Kevin Conroy's a legend for sure.
Yeah. No, I agree. I just haven't seen too much of his work. I'm gonna see the Justice League series. I'm gonna see the Batman animated. I want to see those. You know.
You should watch. You'd have to watch like at least the first 2 episodes of Batman Beyond. But you should seriously consider investing in watching Batman Beyond: Return of the Joker. I really think that's one of the best.
Return of the Joker?
I think that's one of the best movies of all time for Batman.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Oh, it's so good.
I don't know. Good. Just lately, though, like, I've never admitted that Batman is my favorite superhero, right? I've never admitted it, but every time he pulls up, like I know he's.
Sometimes I don't even know if he, like.
Like, it's like Ronaldo, you know? When Ronaldo was playing for Madrid, right? I used to say, like, oh, he's not my favorite player. I like Cruz. You like to be different? I like to be different, you know? I think that's like,
don't worry about
that's
that.
the case.
You can't
right?
really be different.
But then he left, and then I realized, oh, fuck, maybe he was my favorite player, man. Because he's the guy, you know? And you, like with this one, I remember watching it, and I'm like, because it's such a modern take, you know, on Batman, like they made him vulnerable in a way. I was like, come on, bro, this is it has to be my favorite superhero, you know, not my favorite superhero group or whatever, like Justice League and all that. It's not my favorite, but superhero wise, I think he's the guy.
So I'm predicting though that as Matt Reeves' trilogy with Batman carries on, you're going to see a much more secure Batman, a lot more confident in what he's doing, which makes sense. But you just said something that's interesting to me. You said you liked seeing Batman when he's vulnerable.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that, knowing that like there's a good chance that you might see less of that in some respect as these movies go on, because he's going to be more fully fledged and secure? I
guess, but the whole point is having a strong antagonist. Like, we all go into these movies knowing, okay, Batman's going to be Batman. But let's see the different take that they're going to do on this villain. I'm always aware that any villain I'm going to see in these superhero movies, they're going to be different from what someone else did, but the superhero is going to be the same, right?
More or less.
So I went into that Dark Knight trilogy, right, being like, I know who Batman is, right? I know who he's going to become, right? No matter what. But I said it on the last podcast, the fact that Heath Ledger's Joker was so impactful made me like question how I feel about Batman, and that's the point.
So you're more invested in the villain roster, because Matt Reeves has said that
I'm more. No. It's the impact they have on the Batman.
Oh, okay.
You know,
because Matt Reeves has said though, like, whereas Nolan really focused a lot of his movies for the Batman on the villains, like the Joker and Bane. Matt Reeves is not taking that direction. The Batman trilogy is still going to place much emphasis,
and I think it's gonna work.
I think it's new. Well, yeah, it's pretty.
Look at this movie. Look at how he's fighting.
Yeah.
Look how he's gliding. Sure, maybe the third movie he's gonna be excellent, right? But he's always gonna have his flaws.
Right.
The Planet of the Apes trilogy.
Oh, they're
my
good,
favorite. My favorite trilogy of all time.
They are really good.
My favorite trilogy of all time. And seeing the third movie, seeing Caesar in the third movie, you would think like, oh, he's the guy, right?
Character arc, don't you?
You do, but he still has his flaws till the end.
Okay, that's reassuring for you then.
Yeah, I'm so ready for what he has planned for this guy, You know?
Yeah, you're always gonna like the more Batman grows, that doesn't necessarily mean he will be without flaws. Like he'll just discover new flaws. Like
and it's
maybe
the
he's
villains,
more secure
yeah.
being a Batman, but if you introduce Robin, now he's gotta like open
Yeah.
his heart out and he's gotta be more vulnerable emotionally.
Yeah.
Maybe you explore his relationship with Alfred, which wasn't really talked a lot about in the first movie. So yeah, there's definitely room.
And you know what I really like about this one is the fact. Well, I'm gonna say this before I say this.
Yeah,
very
preface
thing.
it.
Yeah. But going back to what we're talking about, the Planet of the Apes. What I found cool. There's one scene in the Planet of the Apes where Caesar is walking, and all the chimps are going like this, going like that, right? Like. Shake his head,
Yeah.
Right? Or they're just looking at him pass through, right?
Because he's the
and
leader.
he uses that shot in the Batman. The first time where he
over
arrives
the shoulder. Yeah.
not over the shoulder, but the camera is Batman, right? So you're walking down. Remember when he was at the mayor's house?
No, I know exactly what
yeah,
you're talking about. Yeah, but like for me, that camera is placed on his shoulders.
Okay, yeah, exactly. I just thought you meant like over the shoulder.
No. I see what you're saying. I see the parallel too.
Yeah, and he knows how to isolate
you
the
are
main
the Batman
guy, right?
Yeah.
Even though there's such a big person, everybody is looking at him, you know?
Yeah.
All the attention's on him.
They make him look big too. They make Caesar look big.
Yeah.
They make Batman look huge in some scenes too.
Yeah.
Like where he's coming out of that train stop in the start.
Yeah.
And he's just drenched in black. Yeah, his footsteps, he sounds like he weighs like, 600 pounds of pure metal?
Yeah. You know what's funny?
And Rob's tall too, so that's not hard
Yeah, that's
to
true,
do.
huh? Yeah. I didn't see any trailers for this movie, huh?
Oh, dude.
Bro, do you know how
You're
hard...
like that, though. Yeah, you're a masochist, because you didn't look at a thing for No Way Home.
No, like No Way Home, I was excited because Spider-Man was the last good thing about Marvel that I was paying attention to.
This is off topic. Yeah. This is off topic. This isn't related to the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
But I truly believe that like Spider-Man No Way Home is only as well regarded because it is more so an event for longtime Spider-Man fans than actually being a standalone good movie.
No, I agree. I it's so funny. I said this in the last podcast, but I said the first time watching Spider-Man No Way Home is sick.
It's amazing.
Right? But compared to other movies where you can rewatch it and still feel the same thing, you only felt that way because you saw Andrew Garfield for that moment.
Yeah,
you know?
that movie stands on the shoulders of much larger giants.
There was one YouTuber who said it really well. I was watching a video about Spider-Man, a video essay, right?
Yeah.
And he said, like, just look at this scene, right? And it was a scene where Andrew Garfield reveals himself, right? So he takes off his mask. He goes like,
yeah.
It's like an SNL skit, you know? You're waiting for the applause, you know? Which is insane.
But
and
they
I was like,
knew it was going to be there.
They knew.
Same with, actually, I think Charlie Cox said that in an interview, too.
Yeah.
Like, where he, puts his stick down, and there's that brief moment of silence.
Yeah,
That's for the audience to, like,
exactly,
clap.
to, like, know what's happening.
Because they know, too, like, this is more so, like, a huge marketing event.
By the way, that pissed me off.
What?
Seeing Charlie Cox.
Why?
Bro.
You don't like Daredevil?
Daredevil is my favorite show of all time.
Okay, so what's the problem?
Hear me out. I knew, like, okay, now it's in Marvel's hands. We are not going to have the same vibe. We are not going to have the same vibe.
Yeah. I think Punisher's coming back, too. I've heard stuff about that. Yeah. Like,
I think Guardians of the Galaxy happened, and then Marvel decided to keep the same thing for every other movies.
Guardians of the Galaxy never missed, though.
It never did, but their happy mood and like their joking thing and all that.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
Okay, but you see like their jokey effect, right? All that,
that
right?
cookie cutter Marvel humor.
Exactly, yeah.
He's right behind me, isn't he?
Yeah. All those little fun things.
Oh boy.
It works for what's it called? Works for Guardians, right? It works for Guardians. No, it works for Guardians. But the other movies, like Captain America had his own style, Iron Man had his own style, right? And I feel like Guardians happened, and then they all had the same formula, and that's what scares me. Because Daredevil was so good. It was so good. Bro, when I tell you I was watching the third seasons, going like this.
What?
I was watching Daredevil, the third season, man. And I remember like...
Third season's your favorite then?
Yeah, for sure,
I think
for sure.
Third season's my favorite.
For sure. But yeah, I was saying like I was.
That's so old too. Daredevil was old, man.
Yeah, but then they're gonna make a new one.
Born Again, yeah. Listen, like, it's not gonna be the dark, gritty Daredevil I think we're used to, but it doesn't have to be dark and gritty to be good. Like,
It doesn't have to be.
Daredevil has a sense of humor.
No, sure, it has a sense of humor, but I feel like it's gonna follow a Marvel style instead of following for. This is why DC is working. You can have a movie like the recent Suicide Squad and the Batman, right, come out all not long from one another
and the tones are different.
So different.
Tonally different.
Joker, are you kidding me? Joker to
me in a lot of ways is like Batman too.
Yeah, for sure. But
very much
you look at Joker, and then you look at Justice League, right? Either Snyder Cut, whatever, the original.
I like the Snyder movies.
Who cares? But I know, like, there's so much to talk about that.
I see what you're saying.
But you know what I mean?
They have
it's
tonal,
so
diversity.
Exactly. And I feel like Marvel restricts itself from
to
that
a certain formula.
Yeah,
because they know that formula has given them
success. Unless it's like movies that have passed for a long time, like Guardians. There's a reason why Guardians felt that way.
Yeah, you couldn't do Guardians without James Gunn.
Exactly. So this is why I'm scared, because we're gonna.
Actually, that's what I really like about Guardians Volume 3 is that you've seen it?
Yeah, I have seen it.
They break up.
Yeah.
And I like that.
In a good way.
In a really good way. So it's
closed. No, I forgot who said it. But someone said there was a theory that said Rocket is like James Gunn.
Yeah.
You know? Like Marvel saw what he did with them.
Didn't like
right?
him.
Yeah. No. Liked what he did, right? But said, oh, we can do it ourselves, right? Threw him away.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they needed him again,
they brought him back.
They had to force him, you know?
Yeah. And
which is like such a weird. I don't know who said it. Andrew Schultz.
Yeah, I saw that clip.
You saw that?
TikTok.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking
about.
Bro,
when he said that, I was like,
it's true.
Mental.
That's like I've seen that a lot actually in movies. How they're like they're making fun of like either the fans or like they're very tongue in cheek about things. Like, have you seen Spider-Verse?
Not the new one. I am watching it tomorrow.
Oh, I can't even talk about Spider-Verse because there's something very similar to that. Well, you haven't seen any trailers for Spider-Verse, have you?
No, but
okay, I can't.
With animation, I don't know. Maybe it's like I have a bad.
I won't. I think I'd spoil a little bit too much for you if I talk.
No,
about
don't. I mean, honestly, I saw the first one, right? And I was like, I really enjoyed it, right?
I was like okay with the first one,
yeah.
And then I saw this new one. I'm like, this is like just art quality alone. If they didn't play any sound and they just showed me these shapes and colors, I'd still be like, amazing.
Yeah,
this is amazing.
You know, bro. Maybe I'm so like, it's such a bad take, but animation for me, I have a bad relationship with it. Anime, I can't stand anime. Like
I don't watch anime.
Like it.
I don't even have time to watch anime.
It for me it drags, right? And also animation is like, I love it in a way because it has its own freedom. Like you can do so much, you know.
You can be very creative.
Exactly, yeah. And the camera can go really too far, right? You know what I mean?
I almost disagree. I think you could put the camera anywhere. Because you can draw anything.
Like let's say. There was a shot of like a camera going into my mouth and seeing my stomach.
Your heart.
You would kind of see where it turns into visual effects, right? But with animation, it feels the same. Feels the same way.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Never like break.
Exactly, right? And I think it's more impressive when a camera does something like it doesn't really do, right? Than animation in a way, because with animation I feel like you have the freedom to do whatever. You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I'm not making sense.
That sounds like you're pro animation.
Maybe I am. But I find, yeah, it does sound like it. But I'm saying like seeing a camera do something, right? I find that more impressive, which is why I love the Batman for how it looks. My rule with rewatching movies, because I don't normally rewatch movies.
Okay, that's weird.
It's either one. Hear me out. It's either one, it's my favorite movie, right?
Wait, you're saying you won't rewatch your favorite movie?
No. Here's my like exceptions, right?
Low-key, I was gonna agree with you on that, but keep going.
No. So my favorite movie, I'll rewatch that. Okay, movies that look beautiful, like Blade Runner, The Batman, right? Movies with great cinematography, I'll rewatch them.
Yeah, of
right?
course.
And then the third one, which is like mainly like all other movies, probably. It's probably I haven't seen them in a long time, right? Or they just make me feel good, so I'm gonna watch them again.
Dude, you're gonna meet someone and they're gonna make you watch movies, and you're gonna be like conflicted because you're like, I'm not supposed to watch these movies.
No.
I will say though,
I disagree though. I
will say though, like I kind of understand it. Like, Pirates of the first Pirates of the Caribbean is still my favorite movie of all time, and as much as I love that movie, I almost don't want to watch it again, until I'm with someone. Like, it becomes something I value so much. I want to share that experience with someone else.
Understandable. No, of course I agree. Yeah.
I'm not like, I watched it full through during COVID with my parents, because eventually I cracked. I'm like, listen, like, these are people I value too. I might as well share this experience with them, because COVID sucked and I remember just like needing an out. But I don't, as much as I love the movie, like, I don't want to go back to it and watch it on my own. Like, I've seen it enough on my own. I want to share that with others. Same with Seven. Same with the Batman.
Yeah.
So
no,
like,
of
I
course.
get not wanting to always just
yeah, that's another one I forgot. Also, if it's in theaters and it looks good, right?
Isn't that cinematography again?
It is cinematography, but if it's in cinema, right? Cinematography, I'll probably rewatch it like probably a couple months later, right? Maybe if I want to, right?
You got nothing else, yeah.
Exactly. But if it's in cinema, right? The Batman, I saw something incredible, and I realized there are so many movies I didn't watch in when it was out in theaters. My favorite movie, never saw it in theaters, right?
What's your favorite movie?
Whiplash.
I love Whiplash.
Yeah, I never saw it in cinema, but the fact that I saw the Batman, I'm like, oh, this is still in theaters, right? I have to go back. I have to enjoy it on the biggest screen, right? I have to. I saw the Batman 4 times. 4 times. I normally collect my tickets, right? Just for fun, just to see. I saw it 4 times in theaters.
Oh my god, dude.
And I lost the 4th ticket. Like, I don't know where it is, but I normally collect the tickets, right? Just like
4 times.
Because I was like, I'm never gonna be able to see it on the big screen. I think you're a bigger
Batman.
Again.
I don't know. You're probably not a bigger Batman fan, but you're a bigger movie fan.
I am. I love movies, bro. Because the way I see it,
bro. Oh
if
my
I
gosh.
see like Dune, for example, right?
I
really
Dune.
wanted to. I get. That's a whole different topic.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just saying stuff.
No. But rewatching them, like if it's in theaters, I know I'm not gonna have that privilege again to do that, right? Honestly, one of my dreams is to rent a theater, either to watch Whiplash or rent an IMAX and watch Blade Runner, right? Bro, that renting an IMAX theater just to watch Blade Runner it's
a lot of money.
It's a lot of money, but holy fuck, bro, I would save up so much.
You wouldn't want to just share that with someone else though, like you?
I would love to. Yeah, I would love
theater?
to. But at the same time, like going to the movies nowadays, like I tell my friends, oh yeah, you guys want to go see a movie? Yeah. But at the same time, it's like if they say no, I'm still gonna go.
I love going to the movies, man.
Yeah, but I don't care what they say.
Movies. Huh? We gotta go to the movies. You see Beau is Afraid?
Who?
I want to watch Beau is Afraid.
Oh, I've heard of that, but you know what? A24 is so like they you know my thing. Oh, we're talking about multiple things.
We do not talk about the Batman, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just gonna make that very clear.
Yeah.
I gave my 2 cents a little bit, but
is that still in theaters though? Beau is Afraid?
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Because I thought it came out of...
Dude, I watched Fast X and I got so overstimulated. I had like a mini panic attack.
Yeah.
I couldn't even believe... Like, I was laughing.
I've never seen Fast and Furious.
It was the first one I ever watched.
Yeah.
Laughed the entire time.
Yeah.
It's a... Like, personally, it's a great bad movie.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes there are bad movies where it's like, oh my god.
And people take that in a bad way, but come on, bro.
But like...
If you make an entertaining bad movie,
this was so much fun.
Yeah.
So much like sensory overload. I went on my phone at one point and I saw like my TikTok had like 10,000 views and it kind of like freaked me out.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't expecting that. I'm like, oh my god, like my phone's blowing up. Like
yeah.
Dominic Toretto's like jumping out of cars. Like
if you're focused way more on the movie nowadays, more than what's happening on your phone, that's gonna mean something. You know,
that's a good thing.
Yeah. I want to go back to the Batman, right?
Yeah, we probably should.
Yeah. And I had a question about Bruce, right? Because I was watching the movie and I was thinking, like, does he want to be Batman? You know?
Does this version of Bruce?
Yeah, because I feel... No. I feel like every Batman doesn't want to be Batman, right? In a way.
Yeah.
Except, like, probably... what's it called? I read the comic... The Dark Knight when he's like super old.
Oh, Dark Knight Returns?
Maybe. I have the comic.
Frank Miller?
Yeah. I have it in my room and I don't...
No, but even like... So I feel like it just depends on like this is what I was talking about earlier, where Batman's like coffee and everybody likes their coffee differently. Some people like a Batman that is extremely secure and knows exactly what he's doing and fully believes he's doing the right thing. And then there are Batmans like Rob's who's not super convinced he's making a difference and doesn't know if he's on the right track. But I think ultimately what binds each of those characters together is the fact that like this is someone who didn't ask for this life, who saw something incredibly traumatic, and is trying to do everything he can that's in his control to mitigate harm. The harm around him, the harm around his people. So although, depending on what arc he's in, how old he's in, how experienced his Batman is, he might wish for a different life from time to time, especially in like Mask of the Phantasm, where, Bruce falls in love with someone and seriously contemplates like not being Batman. Ultimately, there's going to be a piece of him that wishes for a different life. But depending on the arc he's in, you might find a Batman that's very secure in being Batman, or a Batman that only knows what it means to be Batman. Like, I imagine for Batman Beyond, for example, when that character broke his code and hung up his cape and cowl, you never really know what happened. Like, you've never seen Batman Beyond.
No.
Batman Beyond starts with Bruce Wayne's last night as Batman. Okay. And he uses a gun for intimidation. So he breaks his code. He doesn't shoot anyone. Yeah. He uses a gun for intimidation. So he says never again. And he locks up his Batman costume. And then 20 years jump. He hasn't been Batman for 20 years.
Yeah.
And we never really know what those 20 years were like. Like, I'd really like to dissect how Bruce processed and grieved that loss. Because in a way, that's like death. Batman died that night. So if he's not Batman, who is he? And we don't really know in that sense. So he might not necessarily want to be Batman all the time, but he's certainly comfortable with it.
That's a good
thing. And he's almost more comfortable with it than like fully grieving it and trying to do something else with his life.
I agree.
So it's hard to say, like, what do you mean by want?
Like, you said it while you were answering. You spoke about his trauma, right? And it sounds like a silly way to answer it, but a bit of therapy, right?
No, absolutely.
Like, and he should be like probably fine, right? But I wonder, would he still want to continue?
Yeah, or like what Batman comics do as well is that I think this is the arc Matt Reeves' Batman is going to go on, and he's going to realize like Batman's not going to solve crime. He might solve some mysteries, but if you want to solve crime, you're gonna have to use Bruce Wayne to solve crime, and that's how you get stuff like Wayne Enterprise and it's kind of cheap, but like philanthropy or charity work. But like there are so many comics where Batman redistributes his wealth to the people of Gotham to improve income inequality, to literally like give people material solutions to their problems.
And the Dark Knight trilogy was like
the Wayne
balanced both.
Right?
Balanced both.
That's how he's gonna solve crime.
Yeah.
And especially for this Bruce Wayne, who hasn't. Bruce Wayne doesn't really exist in this movie. It's just Batman. So when Bruce comes to that realization that he can honor his parents and he can realize like this hyper capitalist hell that I'm living in isn't going to be solved by beating on petty criminals, but instead eliminating the reason for them to be petty criminals. Give them alternatives. Give them money. Give them harm reduction centers. Give them a chance to I don't know, like you could go really far and you could say like Bruce Wayne like does prison reform in Gotham City and like Arkham Asylum actually starts rehabilitating people instead of just caging them. Like there are so many like
I would love that if he eventually gets the Joker, right? And then he's like, or he knows in this one he knows about the Joker,
right?
They've met each other before. I wonder if it's like there could be a way like he kind of funds Arkham to like and he's like low-key focusing like, yo, how's this guy doing, in a way,
exactly,
right?
And that's what he does in the animated series too. Like he helps Harley Quinn, but I'd love to see for the first time ever in like a Batman movie he rehabilitates a character. Like I think the villain is supposed to be Clayface or Mr. Freeze in the next one. Like let's see Batman help Victor Freeze. Let's see him save his wife's life. Let's see him.
They work together, like type.
Not even necessarily need to work together, but like Batman, like doesn't just beat the hell out of someone, but like helps them heal.
Yeah.
Instead of hurting them.
But there's always gonna be a fight, so I think in a way, like you either make him like unsavable at this point, or to the edge of like he has no point. You know,
that's been done before. Let's see something new.
Okay.
So that's what I'd like to see. You can still have big fights. Like, come on, it's Batman. You think you can't have another cool car chase?
Yeah.
You can't see Batman take on a mob of 20 goons for like the mob or something. Like, no, of course you can have those 6 scenes. You're gonna need Batman.
It is a beautiful looking movie, and I do hope the cinematographer returns because
Greg Fraser.
Yeah, he's so good, bro.
Greg Fraser.
Yeah. He did Dune, huh?
Yeah, he did Dune.
Yeah. But still, you didn't like it. You didn't like it. Dune?
Maybe I was just in the wrong mental space to watch Dune.
No, I think a lot of people just saw it as like its own movie, but then didn't really like take in like other. This is like just the beginning of something else,
right?
You know? And I think that's why like people didn't like it as much.
Do you like those though? When it's like part 1, like Fast X teases Fast X part 2, and it's very much
in a way no, because it's an introduction to a new thing. If the first Fast and Furious was like, oh, this is like part 1 of a part 2, right? Then you'd be intrigued, right? In a way, because you don't know what the hell Fast and Furious is, right? And sure, if you see Batman,
I feel like
you've done other Batman movies before, you're like, okay.
It's
right?
the Deathly Hallows curse.
Oh, it is.
Like
it is.
Part
that
1.
is so true.
Oh, and then we'll do part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, and we can drag it out a little bit.
But it went from like making the final movies of the franchise a part 1 and part 2.
Yeah.
And now it's like, you know what? Let's make
cut
any
it in
movie.
half.
Yeah, let's make any movie.
Or times it by 2.
Yeah. But it also it's just Denis Villeneuve, and like I trust the guy with my life, man. Yeah. And so I know it's like he has good intentions for this, you know? He has a reason of making it 2 parts.
Yeah, sometimes it's just too long and you just want to tell a longer story. Like I get that. When it's used for just marketing, where part 1 feels like an entire advertisement for part 2, then it's like, oh my god, like this didn't need to be 2 parts. Like I'm gonna be honest, Fast X does not have to be a 2-parter.
It's gonna be 3. It's gonna be 3. It's gonna be part of.
Are you saying that with like you think or you know?
No. He said it.
Oh my god. See, this is what I'm talking about.
I was watching a movie. I was watching a video.
Die. Kill your darlings. You know?
Yeah. I was watching a video of like a guy talking about like franchises that need to die, and then he went to Fast and Furious, and he's like, "So Fast X is not the last one. Like you all heard, it's gonna be a trilogy."
Same with the MCU.
Yeah. And then it's like, I'm not joking. He said this in an interview, and then there's Vin Diesel on the red carpet saying like, "This is just the start." Yeah. But going back to Greg Fraser, right? And not only just him, but also like the production of this movie, like the production design
for Dune or Batman,
the Batman, right? Or even him, like both actually. Because
costume design too.
You're creating a world, and I really feel like it's somewhere else. You know.
Yeah.
A lot of people say the Dark Knight trilogy just felt like Chicago.
It is.
Because it was shot there,
very
right?
gray.
Yeah, exactly. It's it's Chicago. It's
very
fine,
bland.
Right? Yeah, and I think the Snyder movies were nothing like.
I didn't see enough of Gotham City.
Yeah, exactly. To like really, and
I didn't
other times it was at night or abandoned.
Yeah, it's just like, an alleyway. Islands, it's a set piece. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, but with this one, I was like.
Well, that's because they blended 2 cities together, right?
Yeah,
they went to was someone in the UK? Was it London?
Liverpool.
Yeah, and as well as I think like Chicago and maybe even Toronto.
Yeah, but it also had inspirations from like New York.
Yeah, right.
So
like
all of those,
like, it's the hyper capitalist reality.
But at the same time,
cross with Gothic architecture.
Yeah, but if you're like a big superhero fan and you're watching the Dark Knight trilogy and you look at Gotham, you're like, am I really going to be able to tell the difference between this and Metropolis?
It doesn't sound like when you look at that city, it's like that doesn't look like a Gotham.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Gotham needs Gothic architecture.
Yeah,
Gotham needs to be dirtier,
and that's
darker.
why it works in this as like a noir movie.
Yeah, the Burton movies did that well. They made it iconic. Gotham City to be
Never
this.
seen them. Yeah.
Okay. Well. Yeah. Well.
I don't know. I'll probably watch. I didn't even put it in my Batman week.
They're older movies.
Yeah,
you should watch them and see what you think.
Yeah, but like I said, I did a Batman week, and I didn't.
How do you do a Batman week and you don't even start with like the first big Batman movie?
I guess I could have, but at the same time, I was like, it's an old movie. Anything that I criticize is probably like very out, like it doesn't matter, like because it makes sense for its time, right? Anyways, I probably didn't care that much. I watched the Dark Knight trilogy and then Batman versus Superman and then the Batman.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I'm sorry, I just didn't like. I think Ben Affleck could be a great Batman. I didn't like how they took his character. His arc doesn't make sense in that movie. Like
in Batman versus Superman?
Not at all. He's talking about how he's gonna kill Superman, and it's supposed to be him like finally breaking his moral code, and he's morally bankrupt, and he's doing it. It's different this time, and you're like, oh my god, this Batman is in such a bad place. But it's like, dude, like I just saw you gun down like 20 goons with a drone for a bat plane. You're branding criminals to get murdered in prison, and your character, when it's at its peak, for me at least, is when he's actually trying to like seriously solve crime and rehabilitate people, and you're literally like branding people for execution, also shooting them, also running them over and murdering them with your car.
Okay.
And you're gonna be like, oh, now I'm crossing the line because I killed Superman.
Devil's advocate, okay? I kind of see why you're saying that, right?
It's hypocritical for me.
But at the same time, I'm watching this and I'm like, maybe this is a guy full of like so much revenge in him, and he knows he can't take out Superman because Superman is Superman, right? He knows he can't do that, so he takes out his anger on branding people, right? And defeating these bad guys in the way he does, But
he's still a hypocrite because he's still killing people.
Okay, but it's like this Batman right now, okay? He's not gonna kill anybody, right? But that first guy that he beats up in the train station, Broski's unconscious and
Yeah.
Come on, man.
But at least
sure we can say all these things, but
at least that I don't know why I said Batman like that. At least that Batman comes to a more fitting conclusion for me because he certainly acknowledges that he's been a hypocrite in that movie. When Bruce Wayne in Batman versus Superman doesn't kill Superman, he doesn't realize like, oh my god, I've been such a hypocrite. Like I murdered so many people. I have to stop being Batman. Yeah. He sympathizes with Clark's humanity because they have, he sees his mother. But he says like, oh, I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to make a Justice League. I'm going to do all this. Like a Batman for me would be like, oh my God, I've done so much manslaughter and murder. I can't be Batman anymore. I would want to see what, Batman in the animated series pulled a gun on someone and was that's way too much. That's against the code. We don't do that here.
But at the same time, it looked cool.
He looks cool.
Come on, like cool. Ben Affleck,
the Batman
bro,
versus Superman. It's something with the cowl. The cowl was never replicated properly again after the Batman versus Superman. And he just never looked quite the same. But oh, dude, that suit is amazing, isn't it? That is a suit.
Like, sure, if you look at it, it's like if you forget like who Batman is at its core.
Yeah, it's a great aesthetic. The shapes and colors are hitting.
It's amazing.
The shapes and colors are hitting.
Yeah, and you know what? I let it slide because there's been so many different adaptations of superhero movies at this point that it's like
you need something new.
No, it's like let me see what someone else thinks.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's not
and
too bad.
And there are a lot of people that do like it. But for me, like it's just not true enough to the character. It looks great.
Yeah.
I think the Darth Vader robot voice was an interesting choice.
Yeah.
But it's not just at its core. It's not for me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Rob needs a new suit in the next movie, though. I'm putting that out there now. Rob needs a much more streamlined.
I don't want too much of like a big upgrade, though.
I want something a little more. I want something that looks a lot more like a suit.
Yeah.
Something iconic rather than like riot gear and a suit of armor.
If I wanted to do it later though,
low key,
if he does change it,
low key, I'd love to see like a Michael Keaton thing where he's got like a yellow circle, all black.
No, it doesn't work for this. It doesn't work for this like. Vibe,
or actually, if he's gonna turn cheek and go be more hopeful, I'd love to see a dark blue and gray.
No, just no colors, bro. It's just.
I've seen so many black and gray suits, though, man.
I don't care, man. Like the fact, like okay, if he does change his outfit, right? I want him to do it like middle of the movie, sort of, right?
Oh, like his suit gets broken and he has to go. It's sort of
something like that, or he realized like, oh, the guy I'm fighting.
What about?
It's not. I'm not on that level.
What about? Oh yeah, like that. That's like so cartoonish though. Like he's fighting Freeze, and he's like, I need a winter Batman suit.
Yeah.
So he makes like a winterized suit.
Yeah,
it's cooler. Oh, that's so childish. I love that though.
Damn, bro. Like
the toys would be selling, man.
Why do movies do that? Like I feel like the need.
Why don't they?
No. Why do they keep changing suits every time? Like if it's like a new season,
obviously.
Yeah. But I feel like story-wise, have a reason.
It also represents a changing character.
Yeah, but have a reason as to why. You know, sure you have a change, but is the change only in the costume?
What was the reason for No Way Home to change the Spider-Man suit?
In No Way Home.
Bring it.
In No Way Home?
Yeah. He's not wearing red and blue. He's got a black and red one. Why did he change suits? He built his own one. Why was
a black and red one.
You remember No Way Home?
Oh, it was just Inside Out. Remember?
No, that's No Way Home. I'm talking about Far From Home.
Oh, Far From Home.
That Spider-Man changes his suit every movie, by the way.
Yeah, in Far From Home he had like that techie, the one that like took out, right?
In Homecoming he has that red and blue one.
Yeah.
Far From Home he makes his own. That's like black and red. No Way Home he's got that weird hybrid, and then by the end of it he's got like this iconic red and blue again. That's from his own.
Yeah, in No Way Home at the end, I think it's like we like that was a character change.
Full circle.
That was a character change.
Oh, I really like that. I really like that idea. Like this is just a big origin story.
Yeah, but
for
some of them
Spider-Man.
in Far From Home were just like, oh, this is just like
temporary. Like this.
No, it's techie. It's techie. It's just like Iron Man tech, you know. Like.
But are you saying you do or don't like it?
I need a reason as to why they change it.
No, you don't just need a reason. You need a valid reason.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they give you a reason.
Yeah, that's
suit
true.
Gets destroyed or I don't know.
We're in, but I want to get to the hot take that I had of this thing.
Okay.
Normally I have hot takes about
the Batman.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Normally I have hot takes for all these movies or some of them. I didn't really have a hot take
always,
for
though.
Exactly. But for this one, this isn't really a personal one, but it's about the genre itself, the noir, right?
Okay.
A lot of people feel like it slowed down the movie a bit, right? And it kind of made up for it with these like high intense action sequence, but because you had such a like, whoa, car chase, right? And then we go back to like
poor pacing.
Yeah, we had to go back to like, oh yeah, like detective. But it makes sense because he's doing detective work, right? And sure, we're trying to get into that vibe. But I think a lot of people in our generation, at least, are not gonna like that noir genre because that's the whole point of it. You know, it is slow. It is like dark. You know, it's like. Nothing really happens, and then
why was Batman so successful?
Because we hadn't seen a decent Batman, a very good Batman.
So it was very good.
Yeah, I think it's good, right? But the take itself, I feel like that's what a lot of people who didn't like the movie said. But what do you think about the genre itself? Like I'm
so biased though. I'm such a huge Batman fan.
Yeah, well that's the point. It's your favorite movie.
I feel like I never was I've seen the movie 3 times now, and it's never felt like they could have cut this scene.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really noticed that.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there were some scenes in the movie that were kind of rushed, like his relationship with Alfred isn't really digested or dissected. I don't know what words better to use there, but they could have the only thing though, like they could have just expanded on that relationship, which
this is a bad thing I'm about to say, but I feel like the fact that we know more movies are going to come out, we can kind of let it slide because eventually we're gonna see.
But you shouldn't. You should.
But like Alfred, we're gonna see more of it.
You should
right?
criticize the movie for what it is.
Exactly. Yeah, but the fact that we're gonna see more of Alfred, right? It's like, you know what? If you didn't show him, if you didn't show much of him right now,
but like that's just working off. That's just working off information that you know.
Mm-hmm.
So unless these movies get canceled or something, which I highly doubt. But
that's true.
I
don't
know.
True,
I love that character so much that I'm willing to sit through moments of like exposition or just straight up dialogue. Like, I don't know. Maybe people. My only counter to that would be like maybe you just want to see like bright shapes and colors, and you just want to see.
But they also said
move
like
quickly, and
the
like
movie should have ended sooner, right? Normally, I have Zach on these type of podcasts.
How do you quantify that though?
Yeah.
Like what? Like how many minutes? How many minutes overboard?
Like the final battle scene didn't feel like
what it should have. You know what?
Like,
Yeah, but it's hard though, because like that scene comes with like a pretty important purpose. Batman comes to a really important, but like I get it. Like upon rewatching it, I actually do remember that scene where like, oh my god, like he's still got to do this fight.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's still a huge big fight, and then he's got to come to this whole character arc, and then he's got to save the people. But I felt like that fight actually kind of wraps up pretty quickly, and it's a really cool fight scene. He's beating the hell out of these like terrorists.
Yeah.
But yeah, it could be shorter. And I feel like also if it was shorter, like short and sweeter too. But like I don't mind.
Yeah,
I will
exactly.
give up my time.
I agree.
Give up my time.
And it's also the fact that in those detective scenes that felt like it dragged, right?
Those detective scenes are also new. Like that's not something you've really seen in Batman movies before.
And he's in the bat costume, you know? It's not like I'm seeing any random cop, you know? Like
if you want to see a Batman movie where he's just, chasing around, like there are other movies like that, but this is trying to do something new, whilst also like kind of like doing the working with known variables. Like Batman's gonna get in a car chase like he always does, or a fight scene like he always does, but let's do something new to add to it. So yeah, they're still figuring out that balance and seeing how much time they can use within that dynamic. So yeah, they can improve on that. Like if you felt the movie ran too long, like I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong.
Yeah, no, for sure. Another thing they also or a lot of people talked about, right, was the main villain,
Riddler.
Riddler, yeah. I said this on the other podcast, which is weird. I'm saying everything again. It's Batman related, right? But Heath Ledger changed how every villain is gonna be, like, every take on every villain.
Changed in what regard?
Just the way they are,
What do you mean?
In the way that like Heath was so different, and it kind of felt like
everyone will compare themselves to Heath, especially Batman.
But if we talk about like greatest villains of all time in superhero movies, right?
Yeah, you got Darth Vader and you got Joker and
yeah. But Star Wars more so sci-fi. In my opinion, it's not really superhero, right? But superhero. No, but superhero. Okay. Superhero wise, right? Yeah, sure. Some superheroes are sci-fi, but hear me out. If you look at like every great villain ever since Heath Ledger, right? It's always been like they've had a good reason as to what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like they all had
Heath Ledger. No, Heath Ledger's Joker.
And then his performance also like cemented something that it's like, oh shit, like you can do a superhero movie and be like have the center of attention, by being the.
Oh, you don't have to be the protagonist to steal the spotlight.
Yeah, exactly. In a superhero movie, especially.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sure, Jack Nicholson was his own thing, right?
You haven't even watched that movie, bro.
Okay, I haven't. But it's at the same time you remember Michael Keaton. You don't. It's like.
I don't know. Jack Nicholson is pretty iconic.
Because there's been a better Joker. There's been a better Joker after him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I see what you're saying. So, but
So with Riddler, in a way,
Riddler doesn't steal that movie for me. Like that, like Matt Reeves really made this movie about Batman, and he's gonna keep doing that. He's been very clear about that.
Yeah, but do you feel like the villain was underwhelming? Like
no. That villain was everything. Like that villain was a lot of what I expected him to be. And more. Like when I found out he was basically a 4chaner streaming, and he has like an incel fan base that do like stochastic terrorist attacks.
Yeah,
that was like, oh my god, this is getting too real. Like, oh my god, like I really appreciated that because like, with Heath Ledger's Joker, yeah, he's great, but like. He's an enigma. He's a real mystery. You don't know where he came from. He doesn't own any article of clothing that can be traced, for God's sake.
Yeah.
He's just this, like...
random guy,
entity. Riddler is a lot more grounded and dangerously real.
Yeah.
Like, dangerously real. To have, like, this really niche following... Be radicalized online.
And it works for, like, this time right now. Be a victim
of very poor socioeconomic conditions.
Yeah.
Easy access to guns.
And it's right now. It works for right now. Every Batman movie, like, no matter what.
Right-wing extremism, basically.
Sure, Justice League or Ben Affleck's Superman, Batman was pulled very much into that sci-fi like world-ending thing, right?
Yeah.
But if you look at every like the Dark Knight trilogy, this, right? Even Joker when he came out, right? Those movies are perfect for the time it came out.
Yeah, they talk about like the radicalization of the lower class. And like how class lines become more binary, which pushes people to more extremes, and that's how crime really happens.
Yeah, yeah. And I find it funny how Matt Reeves said like this was like inspired by like the Zodiac killer, right? Like the real Zodiac killer. And I don't know much about it. Do you know?
I've seen Zodiac, and I've
seen
like
the movie. Yeah, yeah. But like,
I don't think they ever found him.
Exactly. Yeah. But yeah, like the villain itself in this movie, I wonder how he works in like future movies.
Riddler?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll ever use him again.
You don't think so?
What's the point?
Ooh.
What's the point? You have such a great roster.
Mm-hmm.
Riddler has been. If these movies are really about Batman, then Riddler is really just a teaching moment. Riddler is really just a cautionary tale. Like, that's why the other Riddler goon says, "I'm vengeance."
Who the hell are you? Me. I'm vengeance.
To parallel Batman's "I'm vengeance."
Yeah.
Like,
the hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
Yeah.
Riddler is a cautionary tale for Batman and shows him like, oh my God, like this is who I'm going to become if I don't change my ways. He's learned that lesson.
Yeah.
Why do you need to go back to Riddler? Let's learn another lesson from another villain. Let's see Batman take the lessons he's learned from Riddler and apply it to someone else to rehabilitate them. Why are you going back to someone? You've all like it's
You're
good.
right,
You did a good movie. Let's see something else. Let's see something different.
Yeah. No, you're definitely right. I completely agree. But speaking of that scene where,
I'm vengeance.
I'm vengeance, right? I thought
which one? The Riddler one?
No, the Riddler one. The Riddler one.
Yeah.
Because that really cemented like how much influence someone has, Like
these people are very parasocial.
Yeah, exactly. And I think we forget that a lot, like in real life we see examples of that.
Oh yeah, like how do you think like I've written papers about this for school, but like Alex Bissonnette, I think he was the Quebec City mosque shooter.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He shot up a mosque.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Alex Bissonnette. I can check right now, but he didn't shoot up a mosque.
Could you imagine some random guy's name?
No, I wrote a paper.
Yeah. But that would be wild if it's some random guy's name and you're like, he's just watching. He's like, what did I do?
Yeah, Alex Bissonnette. Yeah, he was the Quebec City mosque shooter.
Yeah.
You think he wasn't?
This is poor timing. I'm laughing and like about
no. But like the media he was consuming.
Yeah.
Clearly emphasis his actions, and it's just the same with Riddler. Like these people were consuming some extremist content online that capitalized on some like legitimate grievances, like their poor socioeconomic conditions.
Yeah.
Radicalized them, gave them a scapegoat. For Bissonnette, it was Muslim people. For Riddler's goons, it was I guess Rial, the mayor.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. Like they parallel each other really well. So like,
as much as we see, okay, it's a comic book movie. Oh, blah blah, right? It talks about a serious thing.
That's what I was talking about at the start. Yeah. Like these are social commentaries, especially for Batman.
Of course, I agree. Oh my God, I just lost my train of thought. Oh my God, I had something loaded up. So.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. This is why. Like, moments like that makes The Boys such a great show. I've said this to a multitude of people. I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen The Boys?
Oh yeah, I love The Boys.
You're watching it and you're caught up and all that?
Well, I finished season 3 a while ago. I know The Boys. Okay. It's a parody.
Yeah. It's a parody, but at the same time, it's
real.
Like, bro, it's so real. It's so real.
It's totally what we would do. It's very.
I said it to a lot of people, right? And I think it's the most
honest.
I think it's the best show running right now.
I liked Invincible. I'm waiting for Invincible season 2.
Sure, Invincible is its own thing, but what The Boys is talking about and the way it does it, it is so bro, it is so good. It is so good.
The Boys is really good at explaining like the consequences
Yeah.
of being hyper individualistic and putting all your faith in one person.
Yeah.
Like Homelander will save us.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Bro. And I hate to make this
and
comparison,
that's the
but
problem
it's
with
like,
all superhero movies. Like they're very hyper individualistic.
but it's also with politicians too. Like they're kind of like that, or celebrities and all
yeah,
that.
you
like,
in the States, you know, you have one day to vote for one person who's gonna
Yeah.
fix all your problems, but like half the country doesn't even like that person.
Exactly. And then other people, they see that person as like, okay, they won't admit that like, oh, this guy's God, you know. But that's the way you see him. You idolize him, this guy, so much. But you say you're your own person.
Politics,
and all that.
as politics in the West is very much operating under like a team sports mentality.
Yeah.
Or I'm team red, and if you're not team red, then you must be team blue, and we can't agree on things. And
which is insane.
you know, my dad will beat up your dad. You know.
And then it leads to extremists, you know, and
and you know, in the States especially, that extremism, like I know this from my political commentary on TikTok, that extremism is directed towards just minority groups, particularly people in like gay communities, like trans people. Yeah. And going back to what you were saying, like with the boys and stuff, like you can see that, like you can see these same arguments where like people in positions of power will use their influence to redirect people's anger towards someone who doesn't deserve it or something that doesn't deserve it. Yeah. So for Stormfront, I think Stormfront was a legitimate Nazi.
Bro, and I think that's where it kind of touched that point of like politics, right? It touched that point.
The whole show.
No, the whole show does. But this one was like really real. You know,
it felt real for you.
That
was when it was
like that was like a moment of like, you know what, like
this is getting so
powers
real.
aside. Yeah. This is like, this could be a real thing, you know, like.
Oh yeah, I totally believe that if we could manufacture gods. Yeah. Like. Yeah, man. Like,
no, for sure, and that's why I love how they don't always show their powers. They just show it like at those big moments. But Homelander, he never.
I love that Homelander's in a huge muscle suit, but you take it off, he's just this really scrawny dude.
He walks all the time. He doesn't always fly. You know, like when he does fly, it's like it's an emergency, right? But he's walking around in a scene because he's always in a building. He never uses his powers a lot. And I think it kind of like normalizes them and kind of makes us realize, oh, this is like in comparison to the real world, right? I was gonna say, oh my god!
But like that's the problem with like all superhero movies that one of my professors was telling me about. Like they are all very hyper individualistic. They're all very much stories about people putting their faith in one person. Yeah. Normally, who's from an elite group of people because they either have godlike powers or literally billions of dollars. Yeah. Who's supposed to just use their influence and powers to serve the rest of the world. When in reality, you'd probably see something closer to the boys.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true. Yeah. That's one of my reasons why, like, MCU wise, Civil War is like one of my favorite movies out of the MCU, because that first time seeing a superhero movie touched the fact that like, oh, your heroic acts, they don't always look that way. Yeah. You know? I remember like watching the Avengers, like the first one,
and they're blowing up New York.
But at the end, it's the whole world celebrating, you know? Yeah. People putting on mask of like Hulk and all that, right?
Even though someone definitely lost their car. Yeah.
And then you
see all the memes on Twitter too.
Yeah. Living.
Yeah, me after watching Hulk throw my car after my 8-hour shift, throws my car into outer space because he was too angry.
Oh man, bro, those are amazing. But honestly, like,
rent's like $12 a month in Gotham City because there's like crime all the time.
I spit my gum on the street and Batman. Right there.
Like, I jaywalked and Batman crippled me.
Yeah, but it is true though. Like you watch it in Civil War, you see a clip of Hulk during the Avengers movie, right? But it's from a pedestrian view, right?
Yeah.
Perspectives, yeah, and boom, goes up a wall. Rock,
huge
crushes.
Destruction.
Exactly.
Someone would have died.
Yeah. And I was watching that and I was like impressed that the MCU touched that, and that's why I love The Boys so much, because it did that too. Remind me to talk to you about The Boys after we're done this, because I have something in mind that I might do.
Okay.
But I don't want to say it on here because
Sure.
I want to do it when The Boys comes out, right?
Yeah, for
Anyways,
sure.
Yeah. But we're getting close to 1:30, and I want to talk about a big thing. Okay.
Yeah, sure. What's up?
Joker. It always comes back
what do
to
you mean
Joker.
by Joker?
No, just Joker in general.
Just the character, not a specific piece of media like the movie or.
The character, but mainly in this world, in Matt Reeves' world,
Reeves is
right?
Joker. Okay.
I think any Batman story, right? You can have any type of villain, it's always gonna come back to Joker.
Sure.
You know, because Joker, in a lot of ways, redefines Bruce and Batman, right? All the other villains, it kind of like test them.
Joker redefines Bruce.
I think so, because because of their actions, they have to take like drastic measures. You know, I am before I do talk about it though, right? That deleted scene, right?
Where he's talking to Joker in the cell.
Yeah. The deleted scene, they so it like a lot of people. It says here. Oh, bro, I had it as a fact. Let me pull it up.
I don't want to see Joker in the next Batman movie. If that's what you're thinking, I don't want to see Joker. I could go.
No. But this fun fact, it's like the guy who plays Joker, Barry Keoghan, right?
He was in Eternals.
Yeah. So apparently he did fake scenes in the movie.
Yeah,
as
like
like
a different
cop.
character to fake people
Yeah.
out. Yeah.
You knew this?
Dude, I'm a fan.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I was like, bro, I thought I could like point out something, man. Damn, that's. But yeah, like when I read that, I had to look it up because I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I couldn't. Did you see him in the movie again? Like when you rewatched it, or
No, I don't think so.
no?
I don't
He was
think
just
so.
like there in the like.
They probably just
he was
filmed
just-
some scenes,
yeah.
but he wasn't in them.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I was watching that. I was like,
It wouldn't
Damn,
make
yeah.
sense too, because like if they put him in,
yeah, it doesn't with
Yeah.
his. Yeah, with his.
it's like is that the
figurements, yeah.
Joker? Because it's the same guy.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah.
doesn't make sense to include him.
But how do you think a Joker works in this world?
Have you seen Hannibal?
No.
Okay, well,
But
the whole
it is on
point-
my list. It is on my list.
The
I'm
whole point of
I'm gonna watch
Hannibal
it.
basically
Yeah.
is this cop will like go back to like this maximum security prison to talk to Hannibal, who's like this super.
Like Silence
evil-
of the Lambs, right?
Yeah, Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. I've never seen it.
That's
but
the movie I'm
yeah,
talking about.
yeah.
Sorry. So like, I'd like to see that kind of dynamic where Batman can go to Arkham, talk to Joker about it,
Ooh.
maybe get some insight
Oh, that's
from
not
the
bad.
criminal mind.
Oh, did you get that because of like the deleted scene?
Yeah, I'd like
yeah.
to see that dynamic go on.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's so many great villains in Batman's roster. Like,
Mhm.
please divert some more attention to them.
Yeah.
Like,
I want
I've
to see
seen
more
a
of the
good
Court
Joker.
of
I've
Owls.
seen a great
Yeah.
Joker. If I want to watch a Batman movie that has an amazing
Mhm.
Joker in it, I can do that already.
Yeah.
I can see a lot of movies that have a great Joker in them. I want to see a movie with a great Clayface or a great Mr. Freeze
Mhm.
or a great who else would I like? Mad Hatter or
The Court of
Scarface.
Owls.
Scarface. The guy
Oh,
with the
yeah.
puppet. Is that what his name is? I don't know.
But the Court of Owls is one I've always wanted to see.
I see. Court of Owls won't work for me in this movie in this series because the whole premise of the first Batman is that there's actually this secret elite group of wealthy individuals who control Gotham,
And that's
exactly
already
what the court. That's like we're just doing that again.
Because I never really understood the Court of Owls,
Leave-
and I've never seen like a piece.
Leave the
yeah.
Court of Owls for James Gunn's Brave and the Bold if you really want it.
Ooh, bro, I keep forgetting these guys.
Like you have
Decided-
you have alternatives.
Bro, low-key, James Gunn deciding to do that, two different like, oh, this is Elseworld movies, right?
Mhm.
And this is like DC
Yeah.
EU now, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he did that is so like, that's
I'm glad
glad he
he's
did
letting
that.
Matt Reeves do his thing.
yeah. Like, okay, do your own thing. Joker too, do your own thing. Yeah, and I love that.
Folie à deux.
Yeah. Are you excited for that?
Two. Yeah, I am.
I don't know. I'm very nervous. I'm very nervous
No,
to
it's
see what
gonna
it
be
is.
alright.
I don't know because the
You
first time I
can't
saw the
lose.
Joker, I
Yeah.
was like, bro,
Dude,
it's
worst
it's
thing
my top
the
5. It's
worst
in my
thing-
top 5. It's
The
in my top
worst thing that
five. Yeah.
happens for you is that the movie's better than the first one. That's the worst thing that
Yeah,
could
but then
happen to
you always remember the bad before the good. You always do, right? So in a way, if like I remember I was watching X-Men, right? And X-Men has its ups and downs, and it's my favorite like superhero group, right?
Yeah.
But seeing X3 and then like kind of like not liking it, right? I knew I could go back.
Wait, are you saying like you
it made me remember only that it ended on a bad note.
Oh, that's on you, bro.
It's on me, but it's like I know X2 is a good movie. I know the first X-Men is a good movie, right? But the fact you just ended on a bad note kind of ruins the whole vibe of it all.
Yeah, you know but like
because a trilogy is supposed to work.
Just appreciate what you got. You know, that's all you can do.
I guess, but a trilogy is supposed to work as a trilogy, right?
Well, yeah.
That's the whole point of it all, right?
Yeah.
But if the conclusion is like
if it falls short,
weak, it's like at the end of the day, the whole story doesn't work.
Yeah,
right?
That's valid.
That's how I see it. I'm
not worried about that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that for Joker or the Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and also like, I don't know, like, there's a lot of great Batman media and content out there, you know?
Of course.
And there's going to be other Batman content.
The fact that we're going to have two Batmans at the same time is insane to me. Isn't that crazy? Like
almost three, because Michael Keaton's Batman is in that Flash movie, but apparently...
Yeah, but at the same time, like, we're going to have Robert Pattinson and some other guy.
Yeah. I don't know who the other guy will be. And I don't even, like... I don't care about the DC. Like, especially because of the MCU, I don't care about these big universes. Like, I'm much more interested in, like, single-focused, Elseworld, like, individual projects. Like, having to, like, keep track of everything going on in this universe.
Yeah.
Like,
kind of sucks, yeah.
I don't care. I got too much else going on.
Do you have a favorite scene in this movie? Like, I know mine is like the Batmobile one, right?
I think it's after that murder investigation where he's driving back on the motorcycle and they finally cue up something in the way and he's narrating again.
Ooh, yeah.
Oof.
I wish I could say I'm making a difference, but I don't know.
Something in the way.
That intro scene will always stick with me because you have to start it with a bang, and the way it's like, dun,
yeah. Bum,
but it's like when he's narrating on like Thursday, right? But it's like the and it's like loading up to that, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, it's the soundtrack works, the visual works, the writing works, everything is working well in that very moment. You know what I mean? But that one will always stick. But I like the Batmobile one.
That's
you like that one where he's done with.
He's on his motorcycle. He's just put on the helmet for the first time. He's back in the drifter. He's driving back to the train station to go under and go to the Batcave. Like something I remember just seeing that in the theater and being like, oh, we're like I've sunk my teeth. Like I'm here. I'm sitting here. I'm with someone I really care about. I finally did this. I manifested this because when I was waiting for that movie to come out, I told myself like, I'm going to watch this with, someone I love, like a girlfriend or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And I got to do that at that point.
Yeah.
I'll always appreciate that.
Yeah. I didn't say, like, the fact that I didn't watch any trailers is still really good.
You're a masochist.
No, but, bro, hear me out. That Batmobile scene, right, when he jumps out of the fire, you probably saw it as a trailer.
Saw it in the trailer, yeah.
Take that, you friggin' psycho! I got you!
You saw it as a trailer on your phone, on your computer, something like that.
It did rob joy from me, bro.
Bro, the first time seeing that is in an IMAX theater, right? Boom.
For you, maybe, but I don't think that would take away joy.
I got you. And it's a whoom. Bro, in the big theater,
and it comes from the side mirror too. Like,
yeah, and sure, even me without seeing a trailer, I knew he's fine, right? But it's the way they delivered it.
Yeah.
Boom.
Okay.
Boom.
You know what? That's you, man.
Yeah. Crash, bro. It's like,
and that car like flips too, eh?
It flips.
Yeah.
Bro, everything seen like
and
that.
That's real.
That's
real.
Yeah. But seeing that in a big, come on, man.
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, sure, I get it's a trailer. You promote it to some people. Like, oh, look what we have.
You gotta throw something cool. You gotta feed them.
Sure, but first it's the Batman, and then it's Matt Reeves. Maybe it's because I'm a movie guy. I think this is why I should have like an exception to not watching a trailer. I know who's gonna work on it, right? I know the material.
Okay, so you have faith. You have faith.
I have faith, right?
So why are you worried about Joker 2?
Joker 2?
Like, you should have faith.
Because at the same time, it's like Joker stood as its own movie.
Dude, just apply that logic to the Batman to this, and you'll be set.
Okay. I'll trust you on that. But okay, yeah, we're coming towards the end, right?
Yeah.
And I like to ask my guests, right, towards the end.
Last question?
Not very much the last question, but like, what other movie, apart from the Batman, would you recommend to the...
Seven took a lot of inspiration from the Batman. It's very...
7 is so good.
Oh, it's good. It's creepy. It's scary.
Yeah.
Scary not because I don't even think there's a single jump scare, but like you will just be... it's just like...
No, for sure.
It's too real.
It's
and
gritty,
it's really
yeah.
oh my God, this is like what we're coming to.
Mm-hmm.
My hot take on 7 is that it ends with a happy ending. So if you watch it, see if you can figure out why.
Ooh. I'm not even gonna answer that because
it does end on a happy ending. But we'll explain. I can explain that later to you.
Okay,
Yeah. Any other good movies? Fast X if you want to have like sensory overload and you want to have like a mini panic attack after like me.
Yeah. But no, 7 is a good shout though.
I'll stick with 7.
7 is a good shout.
Say 7
because to me, it's a simple story, but you know they made it complex in its own way. You know.
Yeah, it can be as simple as you like, or it can be as complex as you like. Just depends on how deep you want to sink your teeth into it. So
no. If you think about it, it's simple. 7 deadly sins, right? Sins, right? That happened, right? And then plot-wise, right? Not character-wise, right? 7 deadly sins, and then the last 2, you know, save them for...
Don't spoil it.
Oh, okay. No,
just watch 7. Just watch 7 and we'll leave it there.
Yeah, but it's... I think it works in a simple way. You can look at it in a very simple way, and it's fine.
Yeah.
And that's why it works as a good movie.
Just leave it there, bro.
All right, I'll leave it there. And also, what shows are you watching right now? What show are you watching right now?
Not a single one.
You're not watching a single show right now?
I sometimes will rewatch episodes of Castle with my mom because we watched that a lot growing up.
Is that like a detective show?
It's like a cop show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like cable cop show?
Yeah, well, the show's done now. So it's on like Apple TV or something. Yeah. So I'll rewatch a couple episodes of that with my mom, but that's honest to God, that's it.
Okay. Huh. That's weird you're not watching any shows right now.
I just don't like I don't know, I work full time. I try to stay off
fair. Yeah.
I'm really trying to stay off like social media and stuff right now and limit my screen time and so I'm looking forward to like the next season of Invincible and stuff, but
oh my God, do you watch Barry?
Barry, no. I wanted to watch Yellow Jackets. It looks really interesting.
Is that about the stranded like
it's
girls?
Sort of like Lord of the Flies.
Okay, yeah.
But I literally think I'm too sad right now to watch a show that sad.
Is it? Like, are they just stranded on an island? Is that pretty much
I think it's like a group of high school girls that get trapped on an island and like start eating each other from what I can tell. Damn. And one of them, like, it's like hierarchies, power dynamics, like I don't know. It's really sad, and I don't think I can watch that yet. But when I'm better, I'll watch Yellow Jackets.
Yeah. No, fair. Barry, you should watch Barry.
I heard about Barry.
Bro,
it's done now, right?
It's done now. I haven't seen the new season.
Are you watching something right now? What are you watching?
I'm watching Game of Thrones.
First time or rewatching?
First time. I'm watching Game of Thrones.
I hear it ends poorly, so you're not gonna like that. I hear it ends poorly.
Yeah, same
and
here.
It's gonna annoy you.
I knew some characters are gonna die, right? Yeah. I knew about it. I knew about it, but I didn't know when, right?
Or
who. And I spoke about it in the last podcast how I saw something that happened and it broke my heart. Like that movie knows how to pull you.
Movie?
Oh, not movie. Show. That show knows how to pull you.
Yeah.
And then eventually like break everything. But if you read the books, like you know what's coming, so it kind of sucks.
I don't even know how to read.
You know. But you're a journalist.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, Game of Thrones is good. Hunters, I'm watching that. It's on Prime.
Never heard of it.
They're basically
I don't watch TV, man.
Yeah, Jewish people just killing Nazis in America after the war.
Dope.
Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, man. 137, man. That's not bad. 9 and 37 minutes.
Yeah, that's a lot of content, eh?
No, it's not, bro. The last.
Wait, you said no, it's not?
It's a lot, but it's like come on, like the last two podcasts I did were an hour and like 30 minutes or something.
Okay, so we're on track. We're doing that's good pacing.
It's good. It's good. Some other ones like I really don't have that much to talk about. That kind of like.
No, I feel like we could talk about a lot.
Yeah, it's always trying to hit that 1 hour mark too. Like
we passed the 1 hour mark.
Yeah, by a lot. But yeah, good talk, man. Huh? Yeah. Thanks for coming on.
This is fun, man.
What happened to your hand again? You just fell?
Dude, I wish there was a cool story to these hand injuries, but I was biking on Friday and I literally took a corner too fast and went head over heels on my bike. Yeah, I wasn't trying to get rid of a bomb. There wasn't like a pregnant lady in the way. I literally just am not good enough at biking.
Yeah.
But
I saw the post on your story and I was like, that's fucking tough.
Yeah,
man.
It hurt, but we're healing.
Yeah. It looks a bit like Australia.
Yeah, it does look like a puzzle piece or something. Where a map is missing. I had here, they can't see it, but I'll just show you this really quick.
Yeah. While you pull that up though, got some Batman art, huh?
That's not even the best one. Show them some decent ones. Like this one's okay. Yeah. And I'll let you show. You're allowed to show them this one too.
This one is good, man. This one is good. Look at that. It's not bad, It's not bad.
Okay, so yeah, this was morning after.
Oh yeah. I don't. Even if I wanted to show that, I don't.
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh, it's red, eh?
It's like a whole layer, probably.
Multiple layers.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that was on May 27th.
Yeah.
So been a few weeks.
Not bad.
We're better now.
Okay, ending on a little gross note, huh?
Yeah. Wear a helmet when you're biking.
Sure. Yeah. Wear a helmet. Did you hit your head?
I did, but I was wearing a helmet, and I didn't even like crash my head. It just like scraped my helmet. I took most of it on like the shoulder and hip, and then your hands touch the gravel for a second. But if you're going so fast, it doesn't matter. It'll just rip it off.
I hate injuries, man. Any type of injury.
Yeah, I'm not pro injury either.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys heard those kids in the background, you probably didn't, but I doubt it probably caught it.
Yeah, if you heard background noise, let me know, and I'll just like.
But these kids were playing in their backyard for forever.
I won't yell at them. I'm not gonna yell at kids.
Like,
yeah, but there's
so much energy.
Time off, man.
The time off,
Let
I guess.
Kids be kids.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm pro kid.
Yeah,
pro kids having fun.
All right, thanks for watching.
Thanks,
subscribe,
guys.
please.
Yeah,
subscribe.
for sure. Do it, guys.